question. What if the very light that you have is the one that consumes you the most? What would you do? What would you do? Would you take a rest or will you still continue? And that is the challenge that I want to posit to you today. I'd like to challenge the idea of success, that when we produce more, when we create more, or we inspire more, then everybody will applaud us. Ladies and gentlemen, that was me when I was 11. And I had like this very amazing experience of a lifetime with UNESCO. I get to see the world because of them. And yes, I was in different stages, name it, Senate and all. I was there. The biggest international Youth Day celebration in my country, I led convene it. But at the end of the day, it all fell into my first love, which is my love for the arts. I've always been an artist. And I was here 15 years ago for my first ever TED Talk. And the title was, We Have a Dream. And I get to live that dream. And returning in here, I just wish to share a little bit of wisdom in my practice. I started, in the streets of Manila, sharing the importance of art to children of different backgrounds. I was there. I stayed a little longer that my parents were so worried and even asked me, when will you get a real job? Well, actually, doing art, teaching art and designing programs for communities is a real job. Reason why I founded my first NGO when I was 17, and eventually I get to grow it into an international platform that is being used to, create more bridges of understanding between our countries. So I was doing local programs, national programs, bilateral, multilateral programs, but again, I still fall back into my first love, which is painting and the arts together with children. So it's just really honest. We get to show the stories of the community through that. And we are able to amplify the voices of our younger generation. And yes, I'm just so lucky that my parents didn't clip my wings. And I moved to Malaysia officially 10 years ago. And oh boy, I was in school. When we talk about achievement, success, I came in here for a bilateral project. So it's called Art Dialogo. It's a bilateral project between our countries, Malaysia and the Philippines. So I thought coming in here as an artist, we're on the list at the immigration. So we came in here and I said, okay, we're here for a project under the government and all. And we stayed a little bit longer at the immigration. And they came back to us. I'm sorry, miss, your classification is not in there. And oh boy, we were all humble, And that also shows the difference between our culture in a way on how we use and value art. And that has become also my challenge, to share to everyone how art can be part of nation building. But up to what extent will I do it? Up to this extent, I'm almost gonna be a burnout. That's why I take my vacations seriously. Because, take a look at this. Sometimes we measure ourselves whether we are effective. We measure ourselves on how well we do through our productivity, or how much we sacrifice. That's the thing. So, here we go. I just realized that over the years, I want to share this with you, over the years, that we really need to protect our light. So I created this, the 3 light paradigm that starts with the light within. It's all about our self-worth. And I keep on telling young people and everyone that we cannot share what we don't have. And a mastery of oneself is one of your greatest tools. You can traverse anything, or you can be who you want to become when you have mastery of oneself. And it's very important that your identity is deep rooted in your, it's in your values are incorporated into that. And that will give you emotional resilience as well. And also, I mentioned inner peace and your authenticity will actually be remembered by everybody, whether it's on a stage, when you paint. Also, for me as an artist, authenticity is very much important because I tell you parts of me through my paintings that no one else would know until you look. It's all about our observations. Anyway, our brain is always designed to actually appreciate the art. Yep. So the second light that I would like to share with you is the light between. It's all about our relationships. It's all about compassion, trust, reciprocity. And with this, it also asks this question: who are they? Who are the people behind us? Who amplified our dreams, who amplified our lights, who amplified our stories. And that's where we can have shared growth. And lastly, the light beyond. So it's all about purpose, service, creativity, and impact. I know every achiever would want to share that. Yes, that's just like one thing. But all along, like in my journey, I realized that I've never stopped. I just keep on going and going and going. So I'm always reminded who I do it for. And ladies and gentlemen, like from all the videos I see, you can see different faces in there and different dreams. And together with them, we'd like to define a different kind of light. So I'd also want to ask you, what kind of light do you want to become? It's not because like you're the brightest light in here. It means that's all there is. It's all about sustaining the light. It's all about like, it's not about the fastest light that, burns and all, but then the most stable one. So, yes, because the future does not need more exhausted stars. We need stable lights. And I hope we can all become that. So, thank you. Maraming salamat. Terima kasih banyak. Take care.